Okay, when I start with introduction to calendars, listen to this very, very carefully. Okay, not everyone will teach you introduction and basics of calendars. There are two kinds of calendars which our ancestors used to follow. One you call it as Julian calendar, which was given by a person called Julius Caesar. One is Julian calendar, which was given by a person called Julius Caesar, and the other one is called as Gregorian calendar. One is Julian calendar and the other one is Gregorian calendar. Okay. Now, the calendar which we are following is Gregorian calendar. According to this Gregorian calendar, it seems an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes, it seems. According to the calendar which we are following currently, an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes, it seems. Okay. Now, generally, we know that there are two kinds of years. What are they, ma? When I ask you what are the 2 years that we have, people will say, ma'am, one is ordinary year or you generally call it as normal year. And the second one, you call it as what, ma? You call it as, very good, Anush, leap year. Second one, you call it as leap year. Very good, Karthik. So, if I ask you, normal year consists of how many days? You will say, ma'am, it consists of 365 days. If I ask you, leap year consists of how many days? You will say, leap year consists of, ma'am, 366 days. Yes, very good. Now, there is something that you have to remember very, very carefully when it comes to calendars. What is that? Is basically, guys, there is something called as odd day. There is a concept called odd day. Now, ma'am, what is this odd day? Odd day is basically an extra day. Odd day is basically an extra day. What is this extra day, ma'am? For example, imagine, guys, when you solve calendars question, any question on calendars, if you're solving, remember this step carefully. Any question in calendars you're solving, if you're solving some 10 steps in calendars, imagine you're solving 10 steps in calendars. End of step 1, your task is to calculate odd days. End of step 2, your task is to calculate odd days. End of step 3, your task is to calculate odd days. End of step 4, your task is to calculate odd days. End of step 10, your task is to calculate odd days, which means whichever step you're solving in calendars, your ultimate task is to calculate number of odd days. Are you able to understand, all of you? Any step you solve in calendars, your task is to calculate odd days. Now, ma'am, how to calculate odd days? For example, after solving your entire question in calendars, imagine you are left out with 8 days, ma'am. 8 days. 8 days, how many weeks you can form it into? 8 days, how many weeks you can form it into? Very good, Manish. 8 days, I can form it into 1 week and I am left out with how many days, ma? 1 day. Very good. I am left out with 1 day. Good, Karthik. So that 1 day is called as odd day. Imagine, after solving my entire question, I am left out with 10 days. 10 days, how many weeks I can form it into and how many odd days are left out? 10 days, I can frame it into 1 week. I am left out with 3 days. The 3 days are called as odd days. Very good, Manish. 1 week, 3 days. That 3 days are called as odd days. Now tell me, ma. 14 days will have how many odd days? 14 days will have how many odd days? Very good. 0 odd days. Now, 27 days will have how many odd days, ma? 27 days will have how many odd days? 27 days will have how many odd days? Simple thing, ma. Simple thing. Whatever is given, divide with 7. Remainder will always be number of odd days. Remainder will always be number of odd days. 7 threes is 21. Remainder is 6. 6 odd days. Whatever value is given, in order to find the number of odd days, divide the given value with 7. Remainder will always be number of odd days, not quotient, ma. Remainder will always be number of odd days. Now, 35 days. How many odd days? 35 days. How many odd days? 35 days is how many odd days? In the sense, you will divide with 7. You will divide with 7. I told you, a remainder will always be number of odd days, 0. Remainder will always be number of odd days, that is nothing but 0. Okay, n. Whenever a question is asked on odd days, divide the given value with 7. Reminder will always be number of odd days. Okay. Now my question is, ordinary year consists of how many odd days? Ordinary year consists of how many odd days? 365 divided by 7. My reminder is 1. So 1 odd day. Very good, guys. Keep it up. Now, leap year consists of how many odd days? Leap year. Leap year consists of how many odd days? 366 when divided by 7. My remainder will be 2. So, leap year consists of 2 odd days. Guys, till this part you can forget everything. But 2 things you shouldn't forget is odd days you will divide with 7. Remainder will always be number of odd days. Step 2 is whenever in a question you will come across ordinary year in future when you're solving questions on calendars in our today's session, whenever you come across ordinary year, multiply the given value with 1. Whenever you come across leap year, multiply the given value with 2. Whenever you come across ordinary year, multiply the given value with 1. Whenever you come across leap year, multiply the given value with 2. Don't forget this. Clear till this part, everyone? Yes. Moving on to the next part, the same thing I have written here, Julian calendar and Gregorian calendar. According to the calendar which we are following, Gregorian calendar, and year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. The same thing I have written. You can take a screenshot. Okay. So, according to the calendar which we are following, the calendar is Gregorian calendar, it seems, ma. According to this calendar, an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. Okay. Now, what happened is, okay, according to the calendar which we are following, Gregorian calendar, an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. But what our ancestors did is, okay, it is 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. But what our ancestors did is, they have eliminated this 5 hours, 49 minutes, which is approximately 6 hours. Yes or no, ma? Which is approximately 6 hours, which means if I add 11 minutes to it, which will be 6 hours. So this is approximately 6 hours. Yes or no? Good. So which means they have eliminated this 6 hours. Now tell me, guys, if I ask you an year consists of how many days, what do you generally say? Ma'am, if it is a normal year, it is 365 days, ma'am. If it is a leap year, it is 366 days, ma'am. You will say it like that. But you will not say that, ma'am, an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. You will not say it like that, right? You will simply say year consists of 365 days, which means in 365 days, each day 24 hours, 24 into 60, 1440 minutes. This 5 hours 49 minutes is a very, very minute thing, ma. In 365 days, this 5 hours 49 minutes a very small thing. So what they did is they just eliminated this 5 hours 49 minutes, which is approximately 6 hours. So what happened? In 1 year, they have eliminated 6 hours. In 2 years, it became 12 hours. In 3 years, it became 18 hours. In 4 years, it became 24 hours, which is one complete day. That one complete day is added to 4th year, and we get leap year for every 4 years. Why do we get leap year for every 4 years, ma? It's because, very good, Naimisha. It's because our ancestors eliminated that 6 hours every year. For 4 years, it becomes 24 hours, it seems. So that 24 hours is added to 4th year, and we get leap year for every 4 years. Clear, everyone? Why do we get leap year, ma? Very good. Now, the most important part, the next important part of our today's thing is century years. Okay, when it comes to century years, what are century years, ma? Century years are 100, 200, 300, and 400. These are century years. A calendar starts repeating for every 400 years. Calendar starts repeating for every 400 years. Okay. Now, what happened is in 100 years, for example, if I ask you a question, is 100th year a leap year? How do you generally say, ma? Or, for example, if I give you a year called 2016, I'll ask you a question. Is 2016 a leap year or not? You'll say, yes, ma'am, it is leap year because if I divide it with 4, ma'am, Very good, Manish. Karthik, you will divide with 4, ma'am. According to the divisibility rule of 4, if last 2 digits are divisible by 4, then the entire number is divisible by 4. Ma'am, 16 is divisible by 4, then it's a leap year. Now I'll ask you a question. Is 2022 a leap year? You will say, no, ma'am. If I divide it with 4, I'm getting a remainder called 2. So it is not a leap year, ma'am. So if my remainder is 0, it's always a leap year, exactly divisible. If I'm getting a remainder of 1, 2, 3, which means it is not a leap year. Now my question, listen to my question carefully. Is 100th year a leap year? Is 100th year a leap year? 100. Is 100 a leap year or not? I'm asking a normal question, ma. Is 100 a leap year or not? Okay. Few says yes and few says no. Okay. Whoever is saying no would have known the concept earlier. Whoever is saying yes are very new to this calendars. Is 100th year a leap year? Generally, 100th year is a leap year, ma. How, ma'am? Because 100 is divisible by 4. So you have it as leap years, ma'am. But guys, remember this very carefully. Now, if I ask you a question, in 100 years, how many leap years and how many ordinary years are there? For 25 there is 100, ma. Okay. So, which means whatever value you're getting, whether it is exactly divisible or approximately divisible, if I have 99 here, I might have a reminder. Okay. Ignore the reminder. Quotient value will always be my number of leap years. So, in 100 years, it seems I will have 25 leap years and 75 ordinary years, ma. Did you understand, all of you? Very good, Roshan. So in 100 years, I'll have 25 leap years and 75 ordinary years. Quotient value will always give me number of leap years. In order to find number of leap years and number of ordinary years, you need to divide the given value with 4. Quotient will always be number of leap years. In order to see how many leap years and how many ordinary years are there, I will divide the given value with 4. Quotient value will always be number of leap years. Now, in 100 years, there are 25 leap years and 75 ordinary years. Now, what happened is, according to the calendar which we are following, an year consists of 365 days, 5 hours, 49 minutes. And our ancestors approximated it to be 6 hours, which means how many minutes extra they have added, ma? How many minutes extra they have added to make it 6 hours? Very good, Anush, Roshan, Manish. So 11 minutes extra they have added, ma. They have added 11 minutes extra. So in 1 year, they have added 11 minutes extra, it seems. For 400 years, this is what I'm considering century years. For 400 years, in the sense when calendar starts repeating, for 400 years, 400 into 11 minutes, 4,400 minutes extra they have added, ma. 4,400 minutes extra they have added. Very good, Danita, Harita, Navyashri, all of you, whoever is answering. So 4,400 minutes they have added extra, ma. 4,400 minutes in the sense, how many days? Look at this carefully. I will take 1 day, ma. 1 day is 24 hours. 24 hours, if I convert it into minutes, 24 into 60 is 1,440 minutes for 1 day. For 1 day, it is 1,440 minutes. If I take 3 days, ma, 3 days in the sense 3 into, for 1 day, it is 1,440. So 3 days, so 3 into 1,440 will give me 4,320 days. Sorry, minutes. 4,320 minutes. 4,320 minutes in the sense, how many days, ma? 4,320 minutes in the sense, how many days? 3 days. We got it right? 3 days. So, in order to compensate that 3 days, they have eliminated 1 day from 100th year, 1 day from 200th year, and 1 day from 300th year. Earlier, 100th year, 200th year, 300th year, and 400th years are leap years because 100 is divisible by 4, 200, 300, and 400 are absolutely divisible by 4. But because we have added 3 days extra, we need to compensate that 3 days. In order to compensate that 3 days, they have eliminated 1 day from 100th year, 1 day from 200th year, and 1 day from 300th year equally. Now tell me, is 100th year a leap year now? No. Very good. Very good, guys. Keep it up. Is 100th year a leap year? No, because one day is eliminated. Now, in 100 years, how many leap years will be there? How many ordinary years will be there? Because one day is eliminated, 24 leap years will be there. Plus, that one year will become ordinary year. 76 ordinary years will be there. Very good, guys. Once again, I'm telling you, ma, for 1 year, they have added 11 minutes extra to make it 6 hours, which means for 400 years, they have added 4,400 minutes extra. 4,400 minutes in the sense, how many days? One day, if you take, it is 24 hours, ma. 24 hours, if I convert it into minutes, 24 into 60, which will give me 1,440 for one day. If I take 3 days, it will be 3 into 1,440. Now tell me, ma, is 4,400 nearestly equal to 4,320 or not? Is 4,400 almost equal to 4,320 or not? Yes. So which means 3 days extra they have added. Exclude that 80 minutes that is left out. They did not do with that 80 minutes. 80 minutes is left out here, the gap. They have just left it like that. Okay. So approximately 3 days, what they did, equally they have eliminated one day from 100th year, one day from 200th year, one day from 300th year. So initially 100, 200, 300, 400 are leap years. But because one day is eliminated, they are not leap years. So in 100 years, we'll have 24 leap years and 76 ordinary years. Okay, 24 leap years and 76 ordinary years. Initially, beginning of the session, I told you something. Leap year should be multiplied with everyone. Leap year should be multiplied with 2. I told you, right, previously here. Previously, whenever you come across leap year, multiply the given value with 2. Ordinary year, multiply the given value with 1. So, leap year multiplied with 2 plus ordinary year multiply it with 1. 24 into 2 is 48 plus 76 into 1 is 76. 48 plus 76 is 124 days. Guys, I told you, whatever question you're solving, end of every step, your task is to calculate odd days. 124 days in the sense, how many odd days, ma? Divide with 7. Remainder will always be number of odd days. 119 is divisible by 7. My remainder will be 5. My remainder is 5. So, 100 years will have, okay. So, 100 years will have 5 odd days. 100 years will have 5 odd days, ma. Don't forget this. 100 years will have 5 odd days. Now, if 100 years will have 5 odd days, 200 will be how many, ma? For 100, if it is 5, 200 should be very good, Alish. It should be 10. But 10 in the sense, again 10, I can divide with 7 because I need to get a single value. So, which means 3 odd days. Got it, all of you? 100 years, it is 5, ma. 200 has to be 10. 10 again divide with 7 because you need to get a single value. 10 divided by 7, remainder is 3. 3 odd days. Now, come to 300. How many odd days? Very good, Karthik. Roshan. This is 5 plus 5 plus 5, ma, totally 15. 15 divided by 7, my remainder will be 1. So, 1 odd day. Lastly, 400. People will say, ma'am, for 400 years, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, ma'am. So, totally this will be, for 400 years, ma'am, it will be 20. 20 divided by 7, ma'am. No. Guys, no. Because for every year, they have eliminated one day equally from 100, 200 and 300. But for 400th year, they did not eliminate any day, ma. They did not eliminate anything. For 400 year, they did not eliminate anything. So 400th year is a leap year because no day is eliminated from this. So if it is a leap year, we know that it will have 366 days, which means one extra day. So totally 20 plus 1, 21. 21 when divided by 7, my remainder will be 0. My remainder will be 0. 21 divided by 7. Karthik, I'm telling you clearly, ma. No quotient value. This is not quotient value. Don't do a mistake. Quotient value is different. Odd days in the sense my task is to calculate remainder. Odd days in the sense it is remainder. So 0. Now you can forget everything, all the explanation I have taught, ma. But you shouldn't forget few important tips. Tip number 1. Whenever you come across leap year, multiply the given value with 2. Whenever you come across ordinary year, multiply the given value with 1. That is first one. Second one, in order to find the number of odd days, divide the given value with 7. A remainder will always be number of odd days. In order to find the remainder, divide the given value with 7. A remainder will always be number of odd days. Step number 3. In order to check number of leap years and number of ordinary years, like if you have seen, I have checked for 100, how many leap years will be there, how many ordinary years will be there. What did I do? I have divided 100 with 4 and then I told 25 leap years and 75 ordinary years. In order to check number of leap years and number of ordinary years, you will divide the given value with 4. You will understand it in a better way once we start solving questions, ma. Okay, I'll tell you what is the given value, what they'll give and all. Okay, so whatever year, value in the sense whatever year is given. Okay, Anush, whatever year is given. For example, if they give you 1986, in 1986 how many leap years will be there, how many ordinary years will be there, what you will do is 1986 you will divide it in such a way that, okay, leap years and ordinary years should be there. So you will divide with 4. You got it? You will divide with 4. Is this very clear? So that is how you will be solving it. So whatever value is given, divide the given value with 4 to check number of leap years and number of ordinary years. Last but not the least, ma, quotient value will always be number of leap years. Remainder value will always be number of odd days. Odd days, remainder, ORR, outer ring road, you remember? Odd days, remainder, OR. Okay, odd days in the sense remainder. Quotient value in the sense it is number of leap years. Okay, and 100 years will have 5 odd days. 200 years will have 3 odd days. 300 years will have 1 odd day. 400 years will have 0 odd days. Guys, there is nothing that you're by hearting. There is nothing that you're doing here. All you will be doing is calculation here. Only one thing I'm asking you to remember. What is that? That is nothing but 100 years will have 5 odd days, 203, 301, 400, 0. If you can remember these values only for 100, 200, 300, 400, we know how we got it also. Even if you forget the value 5, you know how to solve it. I have taught you how to solve it. This is the entire process I have taught you. 24 leap years, 76 ordinary years. If you can solve this, you will get 100 years will have 5 odd days. 100 if it is 5, 203, 301, 400, 0. This order should be in your mind, ma. 5310. I'll tell you why. Okay. 5310 order has to be in your mind. Okay. Next. Okay. I have written odd days in a century, which I have already taught you. 100 years, 24 leap years, and 76 ordinary years. 24 into 2 plus 76 into 1. 124 days, the remainder is 5. So 5 odd days. 100 years will have 5 odd days. Similarly, 200 will have 3 odd days. Similarly, 300 will have 1 odd day and 400 will have 0 odd days. Clear, everyone? You can take a screenshot of this if you want. Very good. Moving on to the next one. Okay. Guys, look on the screen very, very carefully, ma. Now coming to months. Okay. In order to solve the question, the next part you have to remember is months, ma. Months we know. What are they? They are January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. These are the months, ma. Okay. Now, January will have how many odd days? I told you everything you will calculate odd days, ma. January will have how many odd days? January will have 31 days. We know January will have 31 days. 31 divided by 7. My remainder will be 3. So 3 odd days. Very good, guys. Keep it up. February will have how many odd days? If it is a leap year, it will have 29 days. If it is a non-leap year, 28 days. So 28 divided by 7, 29 divided by 7. So it can be 0 or 1. Very good, guys. Keep it up. It can be 0 or 1 depending upon non-leap year and leap year. Very good. March, 31 days. 31 divided by 7, 3 odd days. April, 30 days. 30 divided by 7, very good. 2. May, 3. June, 2. July, 3. August, 3. Again. September, 2. October, 3. November, 2. December, 3. These are the codes for, months. There's nothing that you have to by heart here. If you know the number of days, you can find out the odd days. Okay. Now coming to days, these are months. Now coming to days. Okay. For example, after solving your entire question in calendars, if you are left out with one odd day, that day is called as Monday. After solving your entire question in calendars, if you are left out with one odd day, that day is called as Monday. If you are left out with two odd days, then that day is called as Tuesday. 3, you call it as Wednesday. 4, you call it as Thursday. 5, you call it as Friday. 6, you call it as Saturday. 7 or 0, you call it as Sunday. Ma'am, what is this 7 or 0 for Sunday, ma'am? Because there will be few intelligence in the class. They will do 7 by 7, ma. 7 by 7, don't take it as 1, okay? 7 by 7, remainder is 0. Remainder is 0. 7 by 7, remainder is 0. So Sunday, or else if you are left out with 7, leave it as 7 itself. Don't do 7 by 7. So 7 in the sense it is Sunday, or 7 by 7 if you do remainder is 0, it is Sunday. The same thing I have written here, ma. Months. January, February, March till December. Days I have written 7 or 0, Sunday till there. And lastly, 100 years will have 5 odd days, 200 will have 3 odd days, 300 will have 1 odd day, 400 will have 0 odd days. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. Moving on to the next part. Okay. Now, please listen to this very, very carefully, ma, all of you, because this is going to be your first step in solving calendars. Look at this very carefully, ma. Now, I'll ask you a question. Tell me, 100 years will have 5 odd days. I told you, order should be in your mind, 5, 3, 1, 0, even in your dreams. Like how clocks, I told you, theta is equal to 30h minus 11 by 2m. When it comes to calendars, only one thing you have to remember when it comes to traditional method, there is a shortcut process also to solve. I'll teach you that process also. But whoever is appearing for CAT or something, I would suggest go for shortcut method. You will get the answer fast. But all you have to do in shortcut method is by heart every value. I don't want my students to by heart the value, by heart the values. That's the reason. That's the reason I'll tell them to follow the traditional method which I am teaching here. Okay. Now, I'm asking you this question, answer this. 100 years will have 5 odd days, ma. 200 will have 3. 300 will have 1. 400 will have 0. Now, my question is 500 years will have how many odd days? 500. Very good. Manish, Roshan, very good. 500 will have 5 again. 600 will have 3. 700 will have 1. 800 will have 0. 900 will have 5. 1000, 3. 1100, 1. 1200, 0. Listen to this carefully. Now, multiples of 400 will always have 0 odd days. Now, 1600 will have 1600. Anush, 1600 will have 0. Very good. 2000 will have 2000. 2000. Very good. 0, which means multiples of 400 will always have 0 odd days. That we have understood. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay. Tell me, my equation 1 says 29 plus 86 plus 42 plus 64 plus 88. And my equation 2 says 29 plus 0 plus 36 plus 0 plus 14 plus 0. Is solving equation 1 easy or too easy, ma? Is solving equation 1 easy or too easy for us? Very good. Equation 2 easy because the number of zeros we have, the less number of steps it will take for us to find the answer. Yes or no? The number of zeros will have, So whatever value we are having in zeros, our number of steps will get reduced. So if the given year, whatever year is given, you need to equate that year to a nearest century year, because you write it in the form of a multiple of 400, because multiple of 400 will have 0 odd days directly. Now, for example, the given year is 1965. For example, the given year is 1965 you have taken. Okay. How am I dividing 1965 is, I will divide 1965 as 1600, 300 and 65. Ma'am, why did you divide it as 1600, 300? Why can't I write it as 1995, ma'am? Sorry, 1965. Why can't I write it like this? You can do it. But why did I write 1600, 365? It's because 1600 is a multiple of 400. So directly I'll have 0 odd days. 300 anyways, I know the order. 5310. 300 will have 1 odd day. Are you able to understand, all of you? Or else, ma'am, why can't I take 1900 directly, ma'am? Yes, you can take 1600 will come here, 0. 1700 will be 5. 1800 will be 3. 1900 will be 1. Either you do it like this, 0 plus 1, you got 1. Or you take 1900 directly, you'll get 1. However you solve it, you will get it. But I would suggest you to write the value in a multiple of 400, because multiple of 400 will always have 0 odd days. Clear, all of you? So, for example, the given year is 1546. How do you write this, ma? How do you write this? Very good, Manish. Okay, there are people. Okay, okay. Now, 1500. What is the nearest value, ma? I am repeating it again. Don't worry. Okay, 1200, 300 and 46, because 1200 is a multiple of 400. 1200 is a multiple of 400. Write the value in such a way that you have a multiple of 400 to calculate the answer easily, because 1200 will have 0 odd days. Ma'am, why are we even calculating odd days? I told you, end of every step of calendars, your task is to calculate odd days. I told you clearly, right? So whenever a question is given, so your task is to calculate odd days, ma. Don't forget this. Okay. So 1200 will have 0 odd days, 300 will have 1 odd day. Cool. Last but not the least, my given year is 2025, ma. How do you solve this? How do you divide this? 2025. How do you divide? Very good, Manish. Very good, Anush. Simple, ma. 2025, nearest century year is 2000. Simply 25. 2025. Very good. One more thing. One more last thing. Yeah. 1742. How do you divide it? 1742. How do you divide it? Very good. It is 1600, 100 and 42. Perfect. To the ones who are giving the answer, perfect, ma. 1600, 100 and 42. Very good, guys. So I hope you have understood how are we even dividing the values. Okay. So 1600 will have directly 0 odd days. 100 we anyways know the order. 100 will be 5. So 5 odd days here, and 42 we will calculate. Clear, ma? Everyone? How are we solving it? And let's start solving the question knowing few basic things. Okay. Now what are those basic things is, for example, the given year. Okay. Imagine, for example, ma, the given date. Okay, they'll give you a question like this. Okay, they'll give you a question like 13th uh, August, for example, 13th August 1995, ma. For example, they'll give you a question like this: when is 13th August 1995? They'll ask you. How do I solve the question is, listen to this carefully, ma. I will start solving the question with year. I will start with year. Whichever you want, you can do it. But I will start with year. I will go for date and then I'll come for month. Or year, month and date. Whichever you want, you can solve. But I will solve it year, date and month. I told you, any step in calendars, your ultimate task is to calculate odd days in each step. That you have to remember clearly. Okay. Now imagine, guys, today is 13th August 1995, ma. Because that there is someone, some random person who is born on 13th August 1995. Imagine, because that person is born Did God feel so happy and did he change the calendar from 1995 to 1996? Did he change the calendar? After 13th August, did 1996 calendar came into picture? No. After August 13, 14th August came, 15th August came, September, October, November, December till December 31st, 11:59 p.m. also. It is 1995 calendar itself. So your first step, ma, never ever take the current running year because this is not completed yet. So never take the current running year. Take the number of completed years. This should be your first step. This should be your first step. Never ever take current running year. Take the number of completed years, 1994. And when you're solving for date, ma, you will simply divide the value with 7 and find out the number of odd days. 6. You will write it like this. When you come to month, August 1995, it's still 13th August itself, right? It's still 13th August 1995. August in the sense, you will add Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. August is my current running month. So you will add the values till July. 3. Is 1995 a leap year? No, it's not a leap year. Check. Divide with 4 and check. It's not a leap year. So February will have 0 odd days itself. So 3 plus 0, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 2, 13. 13 plus 3, 16. So totally August will have 16 odd days, it seems. So which means whenever you're solving a question, guys, you should never take current running year. You should never consider current running month. Never ever take current running year. Never ever take current running month. If it is August, you need to calculate only till July. If it is July, you will calculate only till June. If it is June given month, calculate only till May. If it is May given month, calculate only till April. If the question itself is given as, for example, 13th January, for month, you need not even calculate anything because January is the first month. January is the first month, so you need not even calculate for months. Clear, all of you? Never ever take, only one thing remember, never ever take current running year, never ever take current running month. Clear? Yes? Okay, come on. Guys, let's start solving questions. For you to understand it in a better way, I have shown you here. These are the steps that you're going to follow in order to solve the question. First one, always consider the previous year. I'll explain, Naimisha, okay? I'll explain it once again, ma. Don't worry, I'll explain, okay? Always consider the previous year for the given question, ma. Never ever consider the current running year because it is not done, okay? Naimisha, never ever take the current running year and never ever take the current running month. Because my question is given August, ma, I will not take August. I will take only till July. I'll add all these values till July. If my question itself is given as July, I will add the values till June because July is my current running month. If my question itself is given as June, I will add till May because June is my current running month. Never ever take current running month. Never ever consider current running month. Never ever consider current running year. While solving, I'll explain you clearly once again, okay? So the first one is always consider the previous year and previous month. Second one, leap year should be multiplied with 2 and ordinary year should be multiplied with 1. Next, in order to check number of leap years and number of ordinary years, divide the given value with 4. I told you already about it, right? To check number of leap years and number of ordinary years, divide the given value with 4, ma. All the other cases you will divide with 7 to find odd days. Quotient value will always be number of leap years. Remainder will always be number of odd days. This is clear, all of you? Please take a screenshot of it. We will start solving. Okay. Quotient value will always be number of leap years. Remainder value will always be number of odd days. So finally, in order to solve any question in calendars, your ultimate task is to calculate odd days. If you can calculate the odd days, you can find the answer within fraction of seconds. Okay. Shall we start solving the question, all of you? Yes. What if the question is having a decimal, ma? You should not take the decimal. You will have a reminder. You will have a reminder value. Don't take a decimal point and make sure that you have a 0 reminder. Don't take it like that. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay. You will have a reminder where you will not even consider that